first graders, and welcome back to another Reading with Miss Fox. Today we are going to start our first chapter book. We're going to be reading a Magic Treehouse book. It's called Hour of the Olympics. So what we're going to do is each day this week we're going to read a couple of chapters and we're going to finish the book by the end of the week. So make sure you stay tuned for posts each day so you can continue reading with us. So if you don't know what the Olympics are, they are games where countries from all over the world participate and compete against each other to find who is number one in different activities. So the Olympics today include things like sprinting and gymnastics and ice skating and other games as well. There's a lot of them. And unfortunately this year they got postponed, so we don't get to watch them when we normally do. So our activities this week are actually going to be us competing against each other at Olympic games that we can do at home. So be sure to check in each day because we're going to have a different fun activity for us to do. But our book is actually going to take us back to the very first Olympics, which took place in ancient Greece. And you can tell that because of the horse, and you can see the statue here and what they're wearing. And I'm sure that our book is going to tell us a little bit more about ancient Greece and the first Olympics. Because back then they didn't have all the activities that we have now. It really started with chariot races and running races, and I think we're going to find out a little bit more about that. So be sure you stay tuned, and let's go ahead and get started with Hour of the Olympics. Even though I know a lot of you guys have already read some of the Magic Treehouse books, we're going to go ahead and start with the prologue just so we can get a background of what's going on. Alright, here we go. One summer day in Frog Creek, Pennsylvania, a mysterious treehouse appeared in the woods. 8-year-old Jack and his 7-year-old sister Annie climbed into the treehouse. They found that it was filled with books. Annie and Jack soon discovered that the treehouse was magic. It could take them to places in the books. All they had to do was point to a picture and wish to go there. Along the way, they discovered that the treehouse belongs to Morgan Le Fay. Morgan is a magical librarian from the time of King Arthur. She travels through time and space gathering books. In the Magic Treehouse books 8 through 12, Jack and Annie solved 4 ancient riddles and became master librarians. To help them in their future tasks, Morgan gave Jack and Annie secret library cards with the letters M.L. on them. Jack and Annie's first 4 missions are to save stories from ancient libraries. This is their 4th mission. Chapter 1. Just one more. You awake? Annie's voice came out from the dark. Yep, said Jack from his bed. Get up, said Annie. We have to get to the treehouse before sunrise. I'm ready, said Jack. He threw back his covers and jumped out of bed. He was wearing his jeans and t-shirt. You slept in your clothes? Asked Annie. I didn't want to waste any time, said Jack. He pulled on his backpack. Annie laughed. You must really be excited about going to ancient Greece, she said. Yep, said Jack. Do you have your secret library card? Asked Annie. Yeah, do you? Said Jack. Sure, put it in your backpack, she said, and she handed her card to him. I'll carry the flashlight. All set, said Jack. They tiptoed downstairs and out the door. Outside, the air was fresh and cool. There's no moon, said Annie, just stars. She turned on her flashlight. Ta-da, she said, let's go. They followed the beam of light across their yard and up the street. Jack was thrilled to be going to ancient Greece, but something worried him. What do you think will happen after we go to Greece? He asked Annie. Is this our last mission ever? Oh, I hope not, said Annie. What do you think? I don't know. Let's ask Morgan, said Jack. Hurry, said Annie. They started running. The flashlight beam flew in front of them, lighting the way. They slowed to a walk when they got to the Frog Creek woods. The thick woods were pitch black. Annie shined the flashlight upwards as they walked between the trees. Finally, they found the Magic Treehouse. We're up, Annie called. Go on up, said Jack. Annie grabbed the rope ladder and started up. Jack followed. Annie shined the flashlight around the treehouse. Morgan Le Fay was sitting at the window. She covered her eyes when the light hit her face. Turn off that light, please, Annie, she said softly. Annie turned it off. Welcome, Morgan said in the dark. Are you ready for your next mission? Yes, said Annie. Then her voice got quiet. This isn't our last mission ever, is it? Ask me that question after the mission, said Morgan. We want to go on more, said Jack. You're very brave to say that, said Morgan. You've had 3 very hard journeys as master librarians. Oh, they weren't so hard, said Jack. You risked your life to save the lost story of Hercules, said Morgan. It was nothing, said Annie. And the Chinese story of the silk weaver, said Morgan. And the Irish story of the serpent monster Sarf. Thank you. You're welcome, said Jack and Annie. Now, said Morgan, for the last story. Jack heard rustling. Here is the title, Morgan said. You can shine your light on it, Annie. Annie turned the flashlight back on. She shined it on the paper. This is what it said. Wow, is that Greek? Said Jack. It certainly is, said Morgan. She reached into her robe again and pulled out a book. For your research, she said. Jack took the book from her. Annie shined her flashlight on the cover. They read the title, A Day in Ancient Greece. Now what must you always remember? Asked Morgan. Our research book will guide us, said Jack. But in our darkest hour, only the lost story can save us, said Annie. Morgan nodded. You must show your secret library cards to the wisest person you meet, she said. Don't worry, we will. Bye, said Annie. Jack shivered with excitement as he pointed at the book's cover. I wish to go there, he said. And I wish we could go on lots of other missions, Annie added. The wind began to blow. The treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Then everything was silent. Absolutely silent. Chapter 2. Any girls here? Jack opened his eyes. Warm sunshine streamed into the treehouse. We sure don't need the flashlight here, he said. Look, Morgan gave us clothes like the ones we wore in Pompeii, said Annie. Jack looked down. His clothes were similar to the ones he'd worn in the Roman town of Pompeii, a tunic and sandals. He also had a leather bag in place of his backpack again. Annie looked out the window. And we landed in an olive tree, just like Pompeii, said Annie. Jack looked out the window. He caught his breath. Are we in the wrong place? He asked. I don't know, said Annie. Look past the trees. Doesn't it look like a big fair? Jack looked, and Annie was right. Past the olive grove was a field filled with white tents. Beyond the field were red brick buildings with columns and huge crowds of people. What's going on? Jack asked. He pulled the research book out of his leather bag. He found a picture of the scene outside. Below the pictures were these words. The Olympic Games began in ancient Greece over 2,500 years ago. Every 4 years, more than 40,000 people traveled to Olympia, the town where the festival of athletic games took place. Oh man, Jack whispered, we're at the ancient Olympics. Cool, said Annie. Jack wrote in his notebook, Olympia, first Olympics took place. Come on, let's go watch, Annie said. She started down the rope ladder. Jack threw his notebook and the research book into his leather bag. Don't forget, we have to get to Morgan's story too, he said as he followed Annie. Annie waited as Jack stepped to the ground. Then they walked through the olive grove to where the tents were. Jack heard pipe music and smelled food roasting over fires. Groups of men talked excitedly to one another. That's funny, said Annie. I don't see any girls here. Oh, sure, there's girls, said Jack. Where? Said Annie. Show me. Jack looked around, but he only saw men and boys, no women or girls at all. Then he saw an outdoor theater. A woman was standing on the stage. She had yellow hair and a purple tunic. There, said Jack, pointing. What's she doing? Asked Annie. A soldier was on the stage with her. He wore a long cape. A helmet with a red crest hid his face. The woman and the soldier were waving their arms and talking loudly to one another. I think they're doing a play, said Jack. Oh, look. He pulled out the Greek book and found a picture of the theater. Listen, he said. He read aloud. The Greeks were the first to write plays. Many English words for the theater come from Greek words such as drama, scenery, and chorus. Many Greek plays are still performed today. Hey, Jack, said Annie, you're wrong. When Jack looked up, he saw the woman had pulled off her wig. It was a boy dressed up as a woman. See, even she's a boy, said Annie. That's weird. Said Jack. He went on reading. A few actors would play many different parts in the same play. Women were not allowed to act, so men played the female roles too. That's not fair, said Annie. What if a woman wanted to be in a play? Don't worry about it, said Jack. He put the book away. Let's just take a peek at the Olympics, then find our story. He nudged Annie to move along. Just then he heard a voice. Wait! They turned around. A man with a short white beard was walking toward them. Hello, said the man. He was looking right at Annie. Who are you? Who are you? Annie asked boldly. And that is where we're going to stop for today. So who do you think Annie and Jack ran into? Post in the comments if you have an idea or a guess. So let's recap what just happened. So far, we have found Jack and Annie at ancient Greece, and when they first got there, they were a bit confused because they thought they might be in Pompeii. So if they saw that ancient Greece and Pompeii wear similar clothing and have similar bags and even have similar trees, what do you guys think that tells you about Pompeii and ancient Greece? Comment down below what you think those similarities could mean. Could it be that they are close to each other? Or maybe that people are similar in different places, so maybe they came from the same place? Go ahead and comment below what you think your idea is. And alright, are you guys ready for today's first Olympic Games? So each day this week we're going to be playing a different game that we are going to call our at-home Olympics so that we can participate in Olympic Games with our family and friends. So grab your sister or brother or your mom or dad and go outside and let's go ahead and participate in our very first Olympic game, the ultimate race. Alright, hi first graders, this is our first at-home Olympic Games, and today I have my friend Miss Crawford here to help us out. She's another first grade teacher, so today is a bit of a battle of the first grade teachers. Although we're friends, so we're going to keep the competitions friendly, alright? No fun and games. I'm going to win. Alright, so today our first competition is the ultimate race. We're going to be doing different races. We're going to start out with a basic running race where we have a start point and a finish line, and it's your basic, whoever finishes first is the winner. So let's go ahead and see who is the fastest first grade teacher. Alright, let's go.
Set, go!
Alright, so Miss Crawford beat me on that one, but just by a little bit. This next one is going to be the same race, although this time we're doing it backwards running. And I have a new friend to help me out here. This is Jacob.
Not a first grade teacher.
He's not a first grade teacher, but I'm still gonna win. I know it. All right, let's go ahead and do backwards race.
Go!
All right, so sadly I lost again, but we have another race. This time, Miss Crawford's back. We're going to be doing a cartwheeling race to see who could do cartwheels as fast as we can across the line, and whoever crosses the line still is the winner. Are you ready?
So ready.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Ready, set, go! Oh.
Woo! Yeah, I finally won! All right, well that means that Jacob, Miss Crawford, and I have all won a race. That's gonna be our Olympics today. We each get a gold medal. Good job. And good job. All right, well, I want to know what races you guys did. You don't have to do cartwheeling or backwards running. I want to know what you guys came up with. Maybe you did a hopping race or something else. Go ahead and comment down below what races you did and who won. I'm sure you first graders are the fastest in the house. All right, check back in tomorrow for another video as we continue our story and have another at-home Olympics game for you guys. Bye.